the child that I was very interested in, I've been interested in quite a few, but my top choice, if you like, at the time then I was told, oh, they've already made a link, so you build your hopes up and then you, right, okay, I've got to start again. And that was the April-May. In the June-July, I got a phone call from my social worker to say, oh, actually, they're interested in reading your PAR again, your first choice. So we'll send it to them and we'll wait to hear. And then July, I can't remember the date, I should remember the date, but I can't remember the date, I got called to say, actually, they'd like to come and see you next week. It was next week. They'd like to come and see you, the social workers for this little child would like to come and see you.
And when we had that first phone call, and she said, oh, well, we've got two, a little brother and sister,
I freaked out.
Would you be interested? And it was kind of like just testing the water with us at the moment, because after all of that, we'd said maybe one, maybe two. And when that phone call came, and the reality of what that might be, it really kind of dawned on us. Yeah. And there was a small moment of panic, but actually we thought, this is exciting.
So we heard this profile of 2 children, 2 siblings, and after hearing it, we went, okay, yeah, tell us more. And I think she asked, would you like to see the photograph? And we did.
And then we snatched it out of her hand.
Yeah. And something just felt right. So we decided that we'd like to pursue and find out more, which we did, and we met the boys' social workers, didn't we?
Yeah.
They came to visit. We had another long discussion. It was a complicated case, but we said, well, we're interested, just tell us more, give us as much information as you can. And about 3 months later, we went to matching panel.
That's right.
When the social worker and the family worker came to us, I think it's a really bizarre thing, because we're wondering, oh, are you gonna accept us? Do you want us for the kids? And they're kind of coming in thinking, oh, do you want these kids? So it was a really bizarre thing. And I remember after they left, watching them and speaking to our social worker out on the drive, I think it's like, oh, what are they saying? And then the phone call came to say, actually, they were happy to continue. Did we want to continue? And we just did, didn't we? There was never any point to anything that they said about the kids.
It was interesting,
made us scared.
While they were really put forward as this is not going to be straightforward. There are going to be complications. There are going to be things that we're going to need to do very intentionally to make this adoption work. There was no point that we felt we could do it, or that it was overwhelming, and I think a lot of that goes back to pointing to the training that we've received.
For me, it was about 3 or 4 hours with those social workers, but they'd come from quite a distance as well, so I think they probably wanted to make it worth their while and stay for a few hours, half a day actually, and then they left.
Meeting the foster carers was an awesome experience, because this was the first time when we'd sat down and
they were talking about the kids.
We'd seen people talk about these 2 little children with such love.
Friday morning, I got a phone call. I was in a shop about to buy something, and I got a phone call from my social worker to say, they've picked you. And I remember dropping the stuff that I had and about to hand this assistant the money, and I just ran out of the shop, and I crying. I don't cry, and I'm about 3 months worth of crying since this process started. And she just said, that they've picked you, and they'd like to get more information, and they'd like you to go to matching panel. It was, it's a memory that I haven't forgotten it. It's a very strong memory. I can remember what I was wearing. I can remember the day. It was amazing.
And then it came to the matching panel, and so that's
the yes or no, isn't it?
That was really going, are we the right fit for these children, and vice versa? And so that was a big one, because the conversations, the questions, they were a little more pointed, a little more direct.
Went to where he's from for the matching panel, and that was a panel with my social worker, my son's social worker, and then another panel that you get to meet. A little bit smaller, probably 7 people this time, but again, they want to know a bit more about you. They ask you about your PAR. They want to know why this child this time. So whereas before it's about why do you want to adopt, now it's why this child, which I think is lovely. And you're able to, you're shining because you've chosen this child, or I've chosen this child. And so a few more questions about you. And and then you go away again in another room, and then you wait to hear whether they agree that this is a good match.
We had the panel, we went out for lunch, and we came back.
And they'd approved us.
And they'd approved us. It was kind of escalated quite quickly because of some of the circumstances. But the reality is, I think we had the panel on
the Tuesday. We then had our meeting then after lunch to decide how the next 2 weeks we're going to plan out with meeting with children. And normally it takes a couple of weeks for that to be all signed off and to then actually come around and meet
for the panel's decision to be ratified, they usually give it a kind of a
But whereas for us, it was so quick. We went into panel on the Tuesday. I went into work then the Wednesday and told them that that was my last day, and on the Thursday we went to meet our children.
Yeah.
It was that quick.
It was very quick.
And sometimes it may be that they have more questions, you've got to go back in, but in my case it was they came back in to say, it's fine, it's you, we agree it's a good match.
You have the indication on the day of the matching panel of how the matching panel would like it to go. So we had a positive answer.
But then there's no formal decision for at least a week to 2 weeks, and the local authority agency decision maker has to sign that off and send the letter out to confirm you are officially matched.
But we got that.